So you've hit your maintenance goal, which should feel like the finish line, but honestly, this is where most people lose the absolute plot. The biggest mistake people make after weight loss is slipping into what I call relax mode. When the dose is stable, the scales isn't moving much, and suddenly old habits start sneaking back in. This week, I realised just how easy it is to drift. If you're not paying attention, maintenance can be a total trap you can fall into if you aren't careful. So today, I'm talking about how I'm dealing with maintenance on GLP-1, what's changed for me on week 37, and this is week 11 of maintenance, the side effects, my exercise struggles, and of course this week's weigh-in. So let's get straight into it and roll this week's titles. Hi, I'm Ali, I'm 52, and this is my week 37 of the Mounjaro journey, or week 11 on maintenance. If you're new here, welcome to my corner of the internet, and all you returning subscribers, thank you very much for the support. I really appreciate it. So relax mode happens when you hit your goal weight or close enough and your brain says, we're done now, I can just sit back and chill. But maintenance doesn't magically stay stable. It needs structure. So things like portion control, it's going up again, protein slipping away, eating out more, skipping workouts, letting your food noise creep back in because it's fine, not tracking your foods, assuming that the Mounjaro magic will continue to do all the work, which we know is not the case. It's not intentional, it's only a few little decisions here and there, but they add up fast. Okay, so why is maintenance the most dangerous time of your journey? This phase is actually harder than weight loss itself because you don't have the constant motivation of seeing yourself on the scales and the number drop. You don't have that buzz of seeing the weight drop off your waist or your face or wherever it may be. The numbers on the scale start to fluctuate up and down, up and down. It's a mind F-U-C-K. It really can get to you mentally, and the hunger cues can start to return, even if your dose is still working. So if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I'm on a dose that's slightly above the usual 5 milligrams because my food noise had started to creep back in a wee bit. This week reminded me that maintenance still needs intentional effort. Try not to get inside your head. Adjust your plan. The roadmap on maintenance is forever changing. It'll change from week to week. Some things need tweaked, and that's okay. It's a total learning curve, this. Okay, so what's the biggest mistake people make on maintenance? The mistake is thinking maintenance means you can go back to how you used to live before you started Mounjaro. You can't. This is where it's easy to fall into the trap. You think the journey is over, but it's really just a new chapter, a new beginning. Keeping the weight off can be tricky, and it's the biggest worry that people really face and the biggest fear most people have. Your body wants to regain weight. That's biology. So if you stop doing things that got you here, slowly you're going to drift back into that lane where you're putting weight back on. This doesn't mean that you need to live on salads and protein shakes forever. It just means keep your protein high, keep your fibre up, move your body, check in with your cravings, and notice when portion controls are starting to creep back up. And stay honest with yourself. That's the biggest goal. Maintenance is a lifestyle, not a holiday. Okay, so how am I dealing with the relax mode? This week, I've gone back to a few basics. I'm pre-tracking some of my meals, or most of them, making sure I hit my protein targets, drinking more water is a big thing, setting an actual plan to rebuild strength training once my shoulder allows, checking my hunger at night. Am I actually hungry or am I just bored? These tiny adjustments can stop you drifting into bad habits. And honestly, that's the real work of maintenance. Okay, let's talk about dose and side effects this week. So my dose has stayed steady this week. It's still hovering around the 6 milligram mark. Check my chart above from the Shotzi app and you'll see that I just took the dose today. In the picture it's around about 4.5. It'll go up to between 5 and 6 over the next day. But I'm fine doing that during December. It's a challenging month. We've all got social nights out, lots and lots of drinking and lots of eating. I'm still splitting my dose, the 5 milligrams, into 2.5 every 3.5 days. Seems to be working for me, and I'm still injecting in my right arm. After saying last week that the sulphur burps had gone, well, this week we just knew they were going to come back again, and they never stay away for long, do they? The Pepto-Bismol to the rescue, and that sorted them out. I have been a little constipated this week, but nothing major. The one thing that's still annoying me is this rotator cuff pain. I'm still on the Proxen, which isn't ideal, but it's slowly improving. If it's not better in January, I'm going to go back to the doctors, and I really need to check out those exercises the doctor suggested I do, because I haven't done them yet. I just thought resting it would fix it, but it doesn't seem to be the case. And obviously you're lying on that side as well, which can be kind of annoying. I touched on this in a previous video, but does anyone have, when you're lying in bed and the covers are touching your legs, your skin seems super hypersensitive to touch? It's not sore, but it's like you just want the covers off your legs because you'd rather they weren't touching you. It's very odd. It's hard to describe. But let me know in the comments if you get that as well. It could be another side effect that nobody really talks about. What about food noise and hunger this week? Well, I've noticed small waves of hunger coming back to very specific times, usually the evening time. Not full-on binge energy, but enough that, I consciously choose protein instead of snacking. Maybe just eating things like cooked chicken or ham from packets out of the fridge. I love doing that, and that saves you eating chocolate or crisps. What about exercise this week? Well, I've been desperate to get back properly into this strength training that I want to do, especially because toning up is my goal in maintenance, but the shoulder pain is definitely holding things back. I still want to get a flat stomach and get rid of these bingo wings. I did manage a couple of long walks, some decent peloton workouts this week. I had some really long ones. I really enjoy having this bike here. It's so good, and I can just do some exercises on my lunch, which is perfect for me. I did do some light resistance weights, and it didn't seem to upset my shoulder too much. But I'm focusing more on protein and fibre because that supports your muscle. Even when your training is reduced, I'm still on creatine, and I'm hoping it's not another gain this week, which you'll find out shortly. Because being on this was a bit of a worry because it does hold on to water in your body and your muscles. Maintenance is tricky, trying to get that constant, losing the weight, keeping it off, and not losing any more muscle because I want to get some more muscle back. Remember, maintenance isn't about being perfect. It's about keeping the basics going even during off weeks. As I mentioned, I've been going back to basics a bit this week and it seems to have really helped. So if you're struggling, go back to basics. Water, I've been drinking more, especially at work during the day. Protein, been having more shakes and more meats. Fibres, I've started back on the Weetabix in the mornings that had fallen away. I'm just trying to up these things where I can possible. So if you're needing help, try them and see if it helps. Okie doke, let's change it up and talk about this week's weigh-in. Reminder, last week's weight, I gained 2.5 pounds. I was 11 stone, 3.5 pounds. I was really hoping for a loss this week and I've managed to lose 2.5 pounds again. So I'm back down to 11 stone, 1 pound, which is 1 pound under my target weight, which I'm delighted with, to be honest. It's a total guessing game how this weight's going to go each week. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. It's so different. But it's about changing that mindset. I'll have a blip, back on the horse and just get on with it. Maintenance is always going to be a roller coaster. No week is the same. It's not supposed to be a perfect flat or a line, remember. This is why I share these honest updates, so you can see what maintenance actually looks like. Don't feel like giving up just because you stayed the same or you gained this week. It's a blip, life happens, moods change. It's okay to have an off week. Just don't be too hard on yourself and just think how far you've come along this journey. When I feel fed up, I just remind myself how great I feel trying on small clothes. And now that I can get into them, it just puts everything into perspective. You need to celebrate your successes on this journey. Don't forget to do that. Okay, so if you've ever slipped into relax mode, or if you're worried about hitting maintenance soon, comment below and let me know what your biggest struggle is. I reply to everybody, remember, and I love to engage with my audience. Now, if you are looking for my next video, check this one up above. 7 things I wish I knew before I started maintenance. It's a must watch. I'll pop it at the end of this video as well and in the description. Please like and consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help boost it and it gets the video out to the wider audience. We need to be talking about maintenance more and more. Folk get towards target. They need to know what's next on the agenda, and things like this definitely help. Start thinking about maintenance now, even if you're 2 weeks away or 2 months away from target. It's good to have a game plan and you know when your next chapter is coming on this journey. If anybody needs some support, reach out in the comments and I'll see if I can help you with or answer some questions. And I'll see you next week for week 38. Until then, it's bye for now.